It's Week 3 of the National Football League, and we've got CeeDee Lamb. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. Who knows what we're in store for here? And it's coming right up on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they have things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now hang on here. Looks like we have an injured player. Yeah, Mark Andrews is in some discomfort. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Jackson looking to throw right away. Flush to his right. And right away, he lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off the game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there.
On the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players and one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
Vaughn on 1st and 10. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball on both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
We take a peek at the list of inactives for this week's game, and gosh, this early in the season, Charles, injuries already accumulating for this squad.
You got to wonder in this organization, are they just saying to themselves, well, hopefully we're just getting them out of the way early so we can make a late season push.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Here's Jackson. Rolling to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now this guy can be everywhere. Kyle Hamilton getting there to drop him for a loss. And again, they'll go right back to the fullback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. On the ground, Lipke. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
Now there's a great example of why he gets the ball in certain situations. Who's going to take that big guy on? Breaks a couple of tackles and picks up a nice gain.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
I tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk, but it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a 1st down, but a big play as well.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the year and 3rd overall. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Aubrey now for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it looks like the defense has got it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Now Lance. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those, but third down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Lance looking to throw it.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into fourth down.
This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get started up at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, where it was the Browns who were winners in that one at home. Jerome Ford, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Raiders locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
And able to get this out to the 25. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is...
That's caught inside the 20. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door inside Baltimore's 10. And they rattle off a big one. And even 70 yards.
Another big play right there. And this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach. And that's a strong step towards getting it done.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation.
On the ground with Vaughn.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, second and goal.
Vaughn.
It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and that is going to set up third and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, The only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. It's a decent gain on the ground. Call it 6, but it still leaves them with a ways to go on 4th and goal.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They run here with Rico Dowdle.
And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. If they've stopped them 2 out of 3 times, usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. To throw is Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Wallace. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Jackson. Under pressure, and down he goes.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. It's got to have it time. 4th and 9.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
And the Ravens are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Here's 1st down. Jackson to throw. That's complete to Kohler.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Here's Jackson. That is caught. Bateman.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Jackson
keeps himself upright. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's going the other way. They find some open field here. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Adafe Owe so quick, and he gets to him there behind the line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave him with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Being chased out left. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the home team here, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.